diverse city in Canada, home to 41% visible minorities with more than 120 spoken languages. And finally, Calgary is a growing city, growing by
for so many generations before many of us came to settle here. And thank you, Elder Casey, for starting us in a good way. He did this to me last week too, where he said I would translate the prayer, so I'm catching on now. He's punking me every opportunity. On behalf of my council colleagues, thanks so much for inviting us to be with you today at the Racial Justice Conference. Many of you have heard me bring remarks before, and you've probably noticed that I start with the Indigenous greetings every time. And I do this with great intention.
The ancestral and traditional Blackfoot Confederacy, Siksika, Bigani, Umskabi Bigani, Kainai First Nations. Ethna Nakota, Wiskatabe First Nations comprise the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and the Goodstoney First Nations, and the Tsuut'ina First Nations. The historic homeland of the Northwest Métis and to the Otipima-Siwa Métis government, Métis Nation Battle River Territory, Nose Hill Métis District 5, and Elbow Métis.
Year 2 comes, we did another round of storytelling.
Think of, and yet that is what the sort of faction that wants to stop the deeper interrogation of racism is trying to limit us to talking about. So for me, the main thing that I consistently have to say to people is that racism has been one of the hardest problems that we've had to solve. Doesn't that suggest that the expertise in it should be seen? I mean, that is sort of a rocket science kind of thing because we've not done a good job at all in figuring it out. So moving from what's elementary to what is historical.
as Indigenous scholars, were brought on kind of after the fact. And so for me personally, it's about being Indigenous-led. It's about being community-based and nation-driven. For too long, and I want to say this with loving kindness, is that for too long, we have not been the leaders of our own agendas. And it's time. As I shared in the epistemology, I think
So when we hear our brothers and sisters talk and share, it kind of fuels that fire within us to keep moving forward as well. So I honor Deborah. I'm really grateful for Deborah. She's a wonderful lady. Thanks so much.
To do so on a world stage. This stance, to my mind, was how legal education could serve the imperatives that were laid before us by Dr. King and his generation. So it was with much excitement that I went to Harvard Law School, eager to study with Professor Bell. However, by the time I arrived at Harvard Law School in 1981, Bell had left the building, frustrated by the slow pace of integration, in particular of the faculty. A respected civil rights attorney, he'd been the first tenured Black professor, and it seemed perhaps his colleagues were satisfied that he might be the only one. And women were similarly in short supply. Among other courses that disappeared from Harvard with Bell's departure was his specialized seminar on race, racism, and American law. It was an absence, though, that we students decided not to take lying down. As a first year, I jumped at the chance to join upperclassmen as we met with the dean to query who was going to teach this knowledge to a new generation of students. Those seeking to understand the problem of American law and race in order to transform it. And by the way, who's going to integrate this faculty? To our utter astonishment, the dean replied simply, "What's so special about this course that you cannot gain from constitutional law and perhaps a legal aid placement?" The dean's response was unsettling. Was he actually asking us students to tell him what we would be taught by course that we were asking to get taught? I heard the Socratic method before. Theology could function to rationalize generations of structural exclusion. Flash forward a few years and a critical mass of students and faculty that gathered for that alternative course, along with others who've been meeting in speakeasies and other venues over the next 3 years, came together in the summer of 1989 for a workshop that I then called New Developments in Critical Race Theory. By then, I joined the faculty at UCLA, having learned in real time how effective
of decolonizing an artifact, which is colonial in the education system, centering stories and making it about your own stories of pain and loss, right? Year 2 comes, we did another round of storytelling.
And then my body